this Reddit post here. It says, small example of why his son's community is naive as fuck. They really think his mom is the one cooking all that chicken. As if she's not a sentient being with life of her own. They think she's in his house 24/7, day in, day out, cooking his meals if she has no life. Ethan obviously implied Hassan told him he has a personal chef. Actually, no, I met her. She's his housekeeper that does everything for him.
Let me see.
But there's actually some updates. I'm not going to say because I don't have 100% proof, but that make her case, I'm pretty sure it's all true, which I'll say when I find out, makes her case look obscenely fucking silly.
Your housekeeper's case.
Yeah. Makes it look even dumber and more pathetic.
Interesting.
So that's what I said about it, right?
Well, that's what you said at first, but I'm definitely want to talk to you about the second part.
Here, we'll get there, Dan.
Okay.
I will say this:
as companies grow,
Hassan has been pretty quick to respond to whatever I've been saying about him, not directly, but through other people to discredit me. He's been really quiet on this issue. Also, I'll go a step further.
I think
everyone who visits his house knows this lady.
Where's my
Cutie Cinderella,
border?
Austin, Will, Carolyn Kwan or whatever her name is. I'm sorry if I don't know her name. I think it's similar, something like that. They all know her. They all see her. She's there. She works full time. These people could easily call me a liar. He could sue me for defamation. This is just an outright lie. This is an outright fabrication.
If it were an outright fabrication.
Yeah, this would be an easy defamation.
I suppose that's true.
But somehow everybody's crickets on it. And yeah, all those people are definitely well aware of his hypocrisy, and they keep it mum's the word on it because for obvious reasons, hey, you know what I mean? They're all riding. All those people are on Hassan's tit. Let's be real. He is by far the biggest creator, and he pushes his weight around too, and they know who butters their bread. So yeah, he's a hypocrite, of course. Obviously, I mean, who isn't, right? We all have shortcomings. We don't. I mean, we don't. He streams 12 hours a day. He can't cook his own chicken. I don't blame him. I have a housekeeper. Very upfront about that. So Hassan says this about, I asked him about his opinion about how janitors in his socialist utopia should be compensated. Here's what he said.
Oh, you have different people in different units that also are, engaging in hiring. Like, it's just that workers now have more of a say in which direction the company should go. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
For me for like a week. And on my business, I spent 5 years building. I don't want to give him a decision on where the company goes.
I think that...
Why should he have that right?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm not saying...
Can we all be real and admit, first of all, Hassan, going back and watching this, I was being so gaslit by his audience to being like I was the idiot that needed to just shut up and listen. He's making no sense. He has no fucking clue how socialism is supposed to work. I'm asking him about like the most fundamental basic things about socialism. The whole point is about the workplace, right? And he can't tell me basic fucking fundamentals of how the workplace is meant to work. Can we all agree that's like a cleaning lady who started 5 years ago should not tell me how to run my fucking business? I mean, that's insane. Not that she's not important, but like as the CEO who's been doing this, who founded it, obviously I have access to a lot of knowledge, to a lot of experience, to expertise that makes me more fucking qualified to run my own business. Why the fuck should someone who worked there for 5 years tell me what to do? It's literally insane. It's nonsense. What are we talking about? It's so fucking stupid. And I understand you guys like socialism because you think it's fair and it's good, and that's good. We like helping people. People help people, you know what I mean? But this is dumb. Let's just be real about it.
The janitor comes in and unilaterally makes decisions. That's not how that works.
I didn't say that.
But I'm curious how it does work.
So it's communication. The other person is a human being as well. If you have a major disagreement,
what is he talking about?
Then you look for someone else to work in that.
He is not answering any question.
That position. This is how it works.
Okay.
The
I'm
only
not getting
difference
a
in that
clear answer on the
situation is
rev
that you
share.
don't
And
have
I do keep interrupting here because he's just gish galloping. He's just fucking word salading until I move on. He's not answering my questions.
You don't have the fear of like subsistence living at the other end of that bargain. Whereas
Bro,
like
why are you
better
talking about this?
amenities,
That's
better
not what I said.
protections.
I asked him a very basic question. How would a janitor or a house cleaner or someone who's like low on the totem pole important, should be fairly compensated, whatever, you know what I mean? Should get all the benefits available to
Yeah.
everybody. How should they, what's their input on the company? He can't tell me. He can't fucking answer that. He goes on and on about some other unrelated bullshit.
and
So by
therefore you're
rev
more
share, you just
comfortable.
mean good living conditions? Because
The idea is
that's what I'm
that
already saying. That I don't think that makes socialism unique, because we can provide good living conditions and
we
benefits.
can, but we have
Spitting facts, straight up.
it. Now that, by the way,
But
one aspect
again,
of social democracy that we've talked about is the domestic one. We have yet to even uncover the other much worse side of social democracies, which is resource extraction in the
This is what they always say. Yeah, capitalism and social democracy, they take advantage of the third world. Bro, what are you talking about, dude? Look at your fucking life. Look at everything in your life. You are not different at all. And so much they go, so you live in a society, checkmate. It's like, well, you could at least try, if you care about it that much, to offset this. So you live in a society, slave-like exploitation of the third world. You could at least make a little effort. This motherfucker probably drinks out of plastic straws. I mean, he couldn't even do the paper straw.
Nobody likes the paper straw.
Of course.
Let's be real.
But nobody's going to like paying double the price for iPhones either. You know what I mean? I'd pick paper straws over double the price iPhones. Wouldn't you? They're both very bad. They're both very bad. They would both cause collapse of
I
society.
don't use iPhone, so
Okay, fair point. I think you're right. The Samsungs they're ethically made.
for sure.
Yeah, they're made where all the factories are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
third world and imperialism, and that is a necessity under
By
global.
the way, Hassan's anti-imperialism, unless it's China, Russia, or China-Russia, then it's like, oh, Tibet was actually a third world country, so yeah, they should be colonized and imperialized by China. Awesome. Fucking genius. This guy's an idiot. Like, actually, let's go back and look at everything he says. It's nonsense. It's the foundation that he talks from is thin as ice. It is ridiculous. And the only reason people support him is because he has this cult-like devotion from his audience that they like. When I'm having this conversation, which objectively I'm offering really valid, interesting counter questions to test his to test his knowledge, because these are questions I'm genuinely wondering about. When we started having this debate about socialism versus capitalism, I went home and I really thought deeply about this. Like, okay, what is it that I think doesn't make sense about this? And I'm going to ask him, and if he advocates, he's going to give me a good answer, right? I think I've thought more about socialism than he has, frankly, based on his answers.
global capitalism, and that is the reason why we have the haves and the have-nots. On the domestic level, you believe
This motherfucker, I asked this dude, how does the workplace work? And he's talking about third world, resource extraction. Bro, answer the question.
that there's a regulatory agency that can make things more just.
I don't feel prepared to have a
ensure-
conversation about the third world stuff because I'm not super
Yeah,
familiar.
why? What are you doing? Why are you changing the topic? I don't want to talk about that.
perfectly fine.
But like I can.
But,
I mean, I
but,
can
but
give
you
my
understand that
opinion
like
about
that's
stuff.
a part
Of
of
course.
how
I mean,
everything
listen,
works.
Who gives a bro? Do you see he's avoiding this question? Do you see how desperately he's trying to get away from this? It's so transparent. He has no idea. He even looks flustered. He even looks like a little red because he knows he looks fucking dumb.
So exploiting in the truest sense of the word is definitely.
My dumbass who just learned about socialism like the day before stumped him. This fucking Marxist student theorist revolutionary. I don't. How does socialism workplace work? Actually, I don't know. That's one of the hardest questions to answer. It's like, what? Isn't that like fundamental? Where's the clip of him saying that he doesn't understand how it works? That he doesn't have an answer to it? I sent that. Is that in here?
Everything you sent is in here.
So maybe it's this one. Let me pull this up.
Handedly.
Let me add another aspect to your example. Let's say you need to hire a cleaner to come clean the office.
This is literally what's happening in his house.
Podcast. She comes, she cleans the office. She works full time. How do you pay her?
Show. BRB is up. Tide is up.
That's not my intention. Go ahead.
So juice is up.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, we're good.
Juice
All right.
is
In a theoretical situation where we
So let me go back a bit.
He works for the podcast.
I asked him literally what happens if you hire a cleaning lady, which is like completely analogous to what's happening in Hassan's house.
Let's say you need to hire a cleaner to come clean the office. She works for the podcast. She comes, she cleans the office. She works full time. How do you pay her?
The cleaner side of this is not like, I mean, I don't have an office like that, but the janitorial services
Just theoretically.
in a theoretical situation where we have someone that needs to do it, we would also
Okay, now
get
this
together
one.
as a unit.
Yeah.
Okay, the existing company would get together and decide
What am I doing?
what
Hotkeys.
level, just like
Oh, no.
hiring the two other hosts, we decide what level
sources.
of revenue cuts we are going to take from our 5% to give
So you're making
to
her a
the other
job offer.
person.
It's not really that different than a salary.
And
Yeah, you could pay her a percent. What percent? 0.0, like whatever, 5? I mean, it's just end up being a salary. Actually, it'd be worse than a salary because it's completely unreliable. Like Hassan even said about his own podcast,
I'm
he's
not
like,
looking
actually, we
for
have no revenue right
this.
now, so I can't really pay you. I can give you like a little something. I remember seeing some chat log like that talking to one of his editors.
and once they
But according to him, his cleaning lady, his housekeeper, should have an input on his business.
Media.
Okay? That is not happening.
Juice.
Do you know that?
Yes.
I mean,
His housekeeper
if I'm
is-
being honest, I feel like probably not. Yeah.
She-
but
I mean,
you don't know that.
Okay, do I know that? You know what? There is a possibility that they get together at the end of the day and strategize on content. You're right. He doesn't speak Spanish and she doesn't speak English, but they're having high-level conversons about content.
I'm just
For the next
saying.
day.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
And,
No,
th- and
there's
this
a
leads
shot.
into the next part because you put a lot
right.
of money on this, and I'm kind of sitting here like,
You're right. And listen, hey, we'll get there.
okay.
they get that job, and there are many
Hot
different ways of doing this, but once they
keys.
get that job, and let's say they worked for 2 years,
This
3 years, then they
one.
have a say in the revenue sharing structure and the power sharing structure as well. Because it doesn't have to happen like instantaneously. A lot of people forget that,
Well,
like,
my problem is that in
Yeah.
the socialist economy, if this is being regulated by
Oh,
the government,
fuck.
people can get together now and
Wait.
decide to do whatever the fuck they want in their company. And that's great, you know? But in the socialistic economy, there's rules that says you need to pay her X amount of rev share.
what you're saying is not true.
Okay.
How?
You want to know why?
Yes.
Because you want a social democracy, which kind of exists, and market regulation exists under capitalist formations, and plenty of capital owners hate that. As a matter of fact, I
Bro,
would say
what is he fucking saying?
Well, he's saying no. I'm following what he's saying. He's saying even under a capitalist
already had it.
mode of politics, there are still regulations on business. The government
That's
did
what
he
I
then?
good. That's what he wants. And my point is that you can already regulate businesses.
right to operate in the.
We
structure
live
that
in a
he's talking
social
about.
democracy. We can
I mean,
do whatever
so
we
that,
want.
That seems like it's just kind of like ticking it over
So
another
if I
tick.
go
It's
to
just, but what he's saying is not different than what I
hotkeys,
believe because we
this
live in a social democracy. It's a giant sandbox where people can do whatever the fuck they want, right? With the confines of whatever
Right. Your
regulation.
point is that if people want to set up their business like a
show
co-op,
me
there's nothing
RB.
stopping them
Do
from
it.
doing that currently. Right?
God bless. Do it.
That I understand that point. Yeah.
Juice.
But at the-
show
anyway, here.
juice, hide juice.
the universally
Good.
capital owners hate any kind of market regulation, which is why they choose to erode it as best as they possibly can, or
But
they use
he's,
it as a-
again, he's not answering my question. I said, what's the difference? Because paying someone a salary is
we'll
literally
put
the same thing as being like,
here.
okay, you're a janitor, I'm going to pay you 0.07% of the salary. Like, how low of a revenue share can we pay them? Because at the end of the day, it's just going to be equivalent to the salary she already makes, but be less reliable. It's worse.
their advantage
I'm
to create an
confused.
artificial barrier of entry into certain sectors.
I'm saying in a socialist economy, there's going to be laws that
Just
say
like
how
there
the-
are laws in a
I'm
capitalist
just
economy
asking
that
you,
capital
in
owners hate.
socialism, how I'm saying the government is telling you how much you need to pay the janitor.
That's not how that would work.
Then how would it work? Because
It
what
would,
if-
it would be government.
Isn't that how is that functionally different than a minimum wage? in
That's my
society?
point.
That's my point, Dan.
You just said that.
I said that at the same time as this guy. What is the point? Why do we need a revolution? It's the fucking same thing. You guys are reinventing the wheel. It's like, guys, our system is way fucking better than this already.
Hey, that's my point.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
okay,
do they-
well then.
Why
I
do you-
think
Within our current system, we have the capability of regulating it to whatever we can dream of. Socialism is a prison. You have to do what the government says.
I'm just kind of laughing at how the conversation is just kind of like mirroring the.
It's incredible. It's like the same
And the
brilliant
freeze
mind.
frame. is so, the freeze frame view is so
The
good.
same brilliant mind
No.
coming together.
But socialism is much more radical.
Let's
We're
see.
talking.
it's not.
Can we get back on track?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to the point, which is ultimately, I think I'm getting there, which is when he admits his total inability to address this point.
It doesn't have to be.
Moving America to is better than socialism. And you guys are explaining something that to me sounds a lot like something that we can already do without this huge undertaking of changing our economy.
And without giving unlimited government power to like tell you who you can hire, what product, how to pay and buy for products, how to get a loan. Like, I'm not a fucking libertarian, but let's be real. What he wants is authoritarian. He wants total state
He
control.
wants it imposed, or what you're saying is that he wants it completely imposed on businesses.
He is absolutely an authoritarian. You should hear the way that he talks so lovingly about China when he's talking about Tibet. He goes, "This is a strong central government coming in, doing violent retribution." It's like he fucking loves that, man.
A capitalistic social democracy one to a socialism one. You're talking about a minimum wage. We already do that.
I love how people call me a libertarian because I don't want authoritarianism, guys. There's a fucking huge gap between authoritarianism and libertarianism.
Fucking chat.
And we can already do better with that via
Use your
regulation.
brains, guys.
But why
the reason why we haven't been able to is because, like,
Look at this. You're parroting propaganda, Ethan. Can somebody explain to me how Ethan just wants to hoard his wealth? Unlike Hassan, please.
I think the best way to explain it is this way, okay? You like capitalism.
If you guys want to lose your mind, go read the live chat and see the gaslighting that's taking place in this.
Socialist characteristics. I like socialism with capitalist characteristics.
Yo, you just said that. So, we're
what are we
both
doing
social
here?
So
Democrats.
that doesn't mean that I'm
the
no.
difference?
I still believe that the government
Wait, what's
should
the
be.
difference now? You
the
said you like
difference-
socialism
the
with
difference
capitalism.
is no. I said I like socialism with capitalist characteristics, meaning that the governing economy, like the entire economy, still revolves around a socialist mode of production where the owners, the workers are the owners. They own the means of production. They have they have a say in their benefits. They have a say in
And
what
I can
happens
fire
in
them
the
whenever
company.
I want, though.
Well, there will still obviously be protections against like unjust firings and whatnot, and there should be certainly.
There are now.
And there are now is a great, but the reason why it's not that way is because we have capitalism with like laughable socialist characters.
Dude, that's
Okay, there's one clip which I hope this linked to it. It's him saying, "I don't know how to." He says, "This is one of the biggest problems in socialism. I don't know how it works." I sent that. I think before this morning maybe, or last night. In the meantime,
I like this one.
we'll move on. Let's see here.
add another aspect to your example. Let's say you need to hire a cleaner to come clean the office.
I did that.
Oh.
Hassan coping about the maid situation. Oh, yeah. His fans coping is just fucking phenomenal, you guys. Here is on Hassan Piker's subreddit. What is he even talking about? He's making shit up. Silliness aside, it's very funny to me that my man still thinks socialism is when we all share a toothbrush. Dude, the level of dishonesty that these people are forced to go to engage with a conversation is nuts. Socialism is when we all share a toothbrush? No. Dude, stand on your shit or don't. If Hassan has a worker in his house, then she should be making a percentage of his business and having an input on his businesses. Like, let's fucking be real, okay? I'm not talking about sharing toothbrushes, and I'm not talking about how much money can you make. Like, these people are fucking dumb. They're just dumb. I don't know if I think they're dumb, and they're in a cult. I don't know how to explain it.
For a few times.
Super convenient to expose this mythical unpaid chef, housekeeper, while you're in a lawsuit against your former employee for many other issues. Listen, both
This
can be
is what
true.
I was saying is just optically,
Both
this
can
is
be
such an
true.
obvious dunk.
Okay, sure, both can be true.
Yeah.
Ethan just blatantly lying about the silliest shit. That sounds like an easy defamation win. Odds he saw Hassan's mom and is so stupid and ignorant and racist that he assumes she's a Hispanic housekeeper. What a stupid lie to make up. Sue me for defamation.
Right. Yeah. That would be an easy dub.
You know? And by the way, this post was erased after getting some traction. That's weird. Why would they want to erase something like that? Probably because Hassan told them to erase it. Probably. Otherwise, why wouldn't they want to fucking show a post about what a dumb idiot liar I am? That seems like good content.
You would much rather spend your time going after someone
Yes.
who is actually considering genuinely going to Gaza.
I know. How is that going, by the way? Is he still considering it?
To Gaza.
I want to go easy on him as long as he's still considering it. He deserves our respect and admiration. There was more, like the Mike from PA coping.
That's in here. This, number 6.
Anywho.
All right, this is, and you had these notes that you had some updates on your,
Yo, why
on
am
your
I
lawsuit.
layers? Oh,
Let me see here.
just dumb.
Did you find it, AB, the clip on that scene?
Wait.
Yeah, it was sent in.
Yeah, it's on the subreddit. Okay, here. This was on the subreddit, which is what reminded me of it. Ethan
So I
and
think
Hassan
we're having,
discuss
like,
employment under socialism. It perfectly shows Hassan's hypocrisy. He's not even able to articulate basic
Panel
things.
options.
And somehow, like, I'm an idiot. Listen to this. Just listen to this.
A kind of just like a
Unbelievable.
disconnect, or not a disconnect, but maybe at an impasse on that idea. But what I'll say, I want to give you a specific example because this is interesting to me. Let's just take this workplace as an example because we're all familiar with it. So I
That's
started
what he
my
sounded
career
like.
10 plus years ago.
That's what you sound like, Hassan.
It's getting a little, it's a little petty.
No, fuck that. Listen how stupid he sounds.
I didn't think you sounded like that.
Hold on, let me go
You
back
said,
more.
idea. But what I'll say,
Let me go back.
I want to give you a specific example because this is interesting to me. Let's just take this workplace as an example because we're all familiar with it.
Pull it, Zach.
It's not that
So-
bad.
I started my career 10 plus years ago,
Good.
and I was successful by myself with 0 employees.
Yes.
Does that
I made a lot of
mean-
money. I did well for myself.
Ethan
And
is
then,
sick
you
in
know,
every clip.
5
It
years
is
ago,
concerning,
into
honestly.
my
It is
career,
concerning.
I made a
And I feel like I have something again in my throat.
Oh, God.
It's very concerning. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Well, I mean, you've been trying to figure out the autoimmune stuff for a while now. I mean, that could certainly be connected, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I made the podcast, which obviously you all are watching now. So let's say we go back to 5 years ago when I hired Dan as a freelance. You started
out.
as like a
That's me.
consultant.
5 years.
God, yeah, or freelance.
This was,
Not me.
And
this was
obviously you
that
lived
long
full-
ago? That's fucking... Because now we've been working together, what, like 8 years?
7? 7.
7?
I think 7.
No, it has to be longer.
I think so.
I think
too.
it's going on 8.
Feels longer.
I think it'll be 8 later this year, if I'm remembering correctly. 2017. This year's 2025. Yeah, it'll be 8.
What a
this year.
beautiful journey. It's been
What a journey.
beautiful.
Just like The Bachelor. What a journey. When I'm going on this journey. It's how they
Would you
say
be my-
journey all the
would you
time.
be my forever
Are you giving me a rose?
Will you be my forever?
Are you giving me a
producer?
rose?
I'll give you a microphone or something. An aux cable.
A bejeweled microphone? An aux.
Full time, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So he started as like a freelance consultant. So what would be a fair way of compensating him for that?
In your situation, it's like, what is the most like socialist way of doing it? Is that what you're
Dude, he's so... That is... I couldn't have stated it more clearly. Okay, go ahead. You're buying time.
asking?
Well, yeah, because that's
Yeah,
what
okay.
we're talking about, right?
It would be
My answer is that's what we're talking about. What do you mean? How would you be paid under socialism? Yeah, the fucking thing we've been talking about for the last 2 hours. Nice try.
it would be profit sharing. What
so
that
I
means
just
is
so this is interesting.
so
Hold on.
This is interesting.
I do not have ligma, okay, you guys? It's not funny. I do not have ligma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit funny.
I have
dude.
Jenna.
Oh shit! Wait.
No, don't go there. That's
Yeah,
not
Maybe
funny.
that's not a good one.
That's
Sorry.
not funny,
That's
bro.
not funny.
That's a sore spot for me.
Oh, I didn't realize we're starting that now. Here we go.
We're not. We're not.
Oh.
I'm not done yet, you
Oh,
guys.
nice.
I'm not done yet.
I think you're right, because
Yeah.
this is actually the most difficult aspect, in my opinion, of like trying to create the most ethical way of
good. I
existing
like
under a
that.
capitalist organization of the economy.
Play it again. Look how dumb he sounds, bro.
Please, everyone watching right now, pull Ethan doing that exact same thing. I swear you've done it the past week.
While you are also productive, and you're doing like an owned and operated media company where you are the product.
So I hired Dan as a consultant
Yeah,
just to help us out to get things
and I have hired people
beautified.
as well.
So then I'm profit sharing with him. How much profit am I sharing with him?
So the way I do it,
And that is a valid question because there's a difference between like a whole percentage and like 0.5%. If you can just decide how much to pay him, then it's literally no different than salary. It's literally the same fucking thing.
Not literally. It would be a little different
I mean,
because
okay,
your
practically
your
the
pay
same
would be tied to revenue, right?
It would
At
be
that point, or
practically the
profit.
same thing, and in my opinion, and a lot of times worse because you
If the
risk
company
being
does
paid
work,
less.
everybody does work, and if the company does well, everybody gets paid a little more.
And you guys get paid, and like you guys know that you have a stable salary, like you have a fucking job. You have a rent. You
And
have
I think
bills.
this is-
You've got kids in school and shit. You're not going to work somewhere where you can just like get half the pay all of a sudden because you had a bad week.
No, I understand. I mean, this is actually an interesting analogy to explore because in my particular situation, which you're bringing up in this clip of coming and working for you, I was coming from a life of living off of being a freelance gig worker, essentially, working on corporate events
Right.
or, premieres and like all that kind of stuff. And the company that I worked with, I would essentially get a percentage of the profits from the shows. And when I first started working for you, it was actually a pay cut to come work for you.
Sure,
I was making more money doing what I had done previously by a fairly significant margin.
Sure, that makes sense.
But as you said, it was very unreliable. I would some months I would make crazy money. At least it felt that way at the time. And then there would be dry spells where I wouldn't work for a couple months. And so, there is something to be said for the stability. That is why I took the job with you, is because I was sick of not knowing if I'd had rent money the next month.
And how's your salary compared, just so the people know?
What now?
Yes,
Well,
now.
I mean, after 8 years, I make a lot more money here.
Thank you.
Than I was previously. Yeah, 100%.
Just being clear. Yeah, that was
My
when the
bank
podcast
account-
just started. I didn't want to give. I was paying people kind of like. Because again,
Listen, it wasn't so low that it was like insulting. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying it was. I
and-
traded off the stability for the higher amount of money that
And
I was making.
I
at the time.
acknowledge that because as the capital owner, the one who's presuming the risk, right? I have to be responsible with how I'm managing the business until we're at a point where it's like, okay, this is working, we're making good money, and then I start giving everybody raises to compensate them fairly. You were going to say something, AB?
Oh, I was just say my bank account was negative 300 when you hired me. My uncle gave me gas money to drive here from
Damn,
Michigan.
bro. I didn't realize shit was that dire.
Been there.
I had a long dry spell, as Dan put it.
Shit, bro. Okay, you paid, brother. I didn't know that. I would offer you less salary.
Do you remember what I said when you asked what I wanted?
No.
I said, give me anything.
You're like anything.
I said, I'll take anything. I was a hell of a negotiator back then. And I was
Well,
very,
you-
I
well,
was very happy with
To
it.
be fair, yeah, but
Yeah.
but anyway, what was I saying is that people look at socialism, Hassan and his audience who are like cultishly like dedicated to this idea. They look at it with these rose-colored glasses because you don't actually have to live it. And I'm trying to be practical about this. There are so many issues that come up. And they just nobody wants to interface with it, Like this is not only is this isn't a niche issue what we're talking about. This is like would affect millions of people. Like freelancing, coming in to just do a gig. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a gig, yeah. What the fuck? And then I continue to make great points.
this will be, I mean, this is instructive for many others as well. The way I do it, like the most ethical way to do it, is basically try to make an assessment. Sure, there's market considerations on the one hand, like what the normal wage would look like, but that is like the minimum. You know what I mean? That is like the minimum. That is the worst possible amount to pay someone in the form of wages, in my opinion.
Okay.
So you have the market considerations on the one side, which I don't necessarily care too much about. On
Dude,
the other
he is
side, you have
prattling
your
on.
productive output.
This man
shit, I
is
didn't
he
say
can't
that.
even barely communicate his ideas. You know, they say if you understand something, you can explain it so a 5-year-old gets it. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, this is what you sound like.
Output, right? Let's say.
And since I have the brain of a 5-year-old, which is what Hassan said, then he really should be, you know, make it a little simpler to understand. Because right now, he's just going on and on.
You were making $10 before Dan came on, and now that Dan came on, you're making.
That wouldn't be measurable metric.
No. I know.
But then what? But that's important. You can't just yada yada that. That's important, right? It's like nobody's drilled down and tried to figure out this. You all want socialism, and you never thought about how like this works. Like, let's get to the nuts and bolts here, guys. On its face, sure, it sounds great.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I know. Which is why I'm saying it's a tricky situation.
It seems almost impossible.
Yeah.
me.
Well, technically, the other side is also very cruel, but we just like have
But that's
normalized.
not true, because in social democracy, people are fairly compensated. It's not cruel, in my opinion.
No, there's. I don't think. I think
Well,
we
people
think
can
of
be
social
more or
democracy,
less, more
we think of social
fairly.
I
democracy-
think that's too
fairly
broad of a
compensated.
statement.
Did I say I don't think it's cruel? Yeah, I mean, it can be.
No, and specifically that, you know, well, I guess you're talking about an idealized version of social
Where
democracy,
there's
where people are
regulations
fairly
that
compensated.
ensure like a minimum.
Right. I was about to object to it just on the basis that in capitalism broadly, there's no
As it's
guarantee that
expressed
people
today,
are-
it has a ton of issues, and it is absolutely unfair.
Sure.
It's grossly unfair. But like if we're talking about like a perfect, you know, society, again, looking at Scandinavia, which is a capitalist society, make no mistake, they have strong unions, high minimum wages, and that's what I would advocate. That's what I advocate for, right? So assuming,
Well,
since-
you know, an economy with strong unions, like you're describing, essentially is a middle point between like
what's socialist about unions?
that. I mean, the point of unions is that the workers are able to collectively bargain.
That
So they're-
exists already in America, which is apparently quintessential capitalism. It exists since the 1950s, when America was like the most fucking capitalistic,
Well, it much-
gilded age shit ever.
much earlier than the 1950s, but
Or, I mean, express, yeah.
yeah,
Like unions are not.
they're not inherently socialist, but it's definitely if you're looking at it on a spectrum of how much control the CEO of a company has versus the entire workforce. The union, a company having a strong workers union is certainly pulling it in the direction of the workers having more say in things.
That's
They're
why
able-
social democracy is awesome.
Yeah,
Right. So I don't. That's the irony of all of this is you are far from a hardcore, laissez-faire capitalist.
Not at all, but like when people talk about these systems, people talk about social democracy and like they just say capitalism evil. Like there's so much more to it than that. It's
I mean,
just, it's
you
not
get no
that
disagreement
simple.
from me about that. I mean, yeah.
And the same way people talk about socialism is like it's just when people get paid fairly. It's like that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
unions in Sweden are so powerful that there is no legal minimum wage, actually. So
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, it's all collective bargaining.
So I mean, and that's good. I don't think that socialism owns unions. I mean,
Yeah.
workers should be able to unionize.
I,
That's, you know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's cool because then, like, if you want to do a little project and like, and you're outside the union, you could technically do whatever you want. You're not legally bound to anything.
It's all
But
offers.
bigger companies has to abide by the unions.
There's nothing antithetical about workers having more power and social democracy. Everything is possible, you know?
But like generally speaking, they'd be more fairly compensated than what you would see today.
Yes, in comparison to the United States of America, which technically would be a mixed market or social democracy, social democracies in other countries, there is better compensation
So here's the unintended consequence of that.
due to regulation, government regulation.
If I'm just hiring Dan to come in and help me with cameras and stuff, and I have to cut him in on profit share, people are not going to hire as many people. They're going to think a lot more before they bring more people on.
To me, that is such an important point.
I'm so shocked that you are resonating with all of
But imagine,
your own point. I know, it's just funny.
I know, and this guy's really good.
Should hire him.
You're hired, man. You get it all.
Yeah.
Come run our business. You get everything.
You could profit share with him too.
Hell yeah. Like it's so important to think about this.
Yeah, no,
It's just different.
if you're going to heavily advocate for somebody, you should be prepared to talk about it. And I mean, that's why
Even
I don't like engaging about it. I don't feel I'm
fair enough,
particularly
and
qualified.
that I respect. That I respect because these are not. Listen, these are not easy answers, easy questions to answer.
I've never started a business, so what do I know about running one?
Sure, no. But Hassan is like this advocate. He's like a face of socialism online, and this man can't fucking, tell me a goddamn thing about how it works.
Okay, but the reason why I was bringing up the revenue is because let's say you were making you're making $10. Dan comes on, now you're making $15.
Yeah.
Right? Dan has brought in $5 extra of revenue for you, and I think that the best possible way to engage with that would be to cut Dan in on offer Dan living wages plus whatever Dan has brought in the form of revenue.
Here's a big problem.
And that move
That already exists. It's called a bonus.
that moves into direction like you make. And
Yeah,
then
well, the
later
difference
down the
is
line,
that a bonus is discretionary.
Well, you can, not always.
I guess it
Sometimes
could be
they're negotiated in
in
the
your
contract.
contract.
Yeah, I think a lot of high-level jobs, their bonuses are negotiated
Well,
in.
for high-level jobs.
Sure, yeah. We're talking about, you're right. We're talking about meats and potatoes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
line you make $100,000 and
It moves with it,
now Dan is moving with it as well.
Here's where this seems more like it's a nice theory, but like in application, it makes no sense. Who decides how much value he's brought? How could you possibly decide that? If my show is growing, Dan joins, and let's say, I now I'm making $15.
Spitting.
But the show was organically growing. How can I attribute all 5 of that to Dan?
This is what it looks like when you prepare for a conversation, by the way. Because he's a genius, right? He says, I'm so fucking stupid, and I have the brain of a 5-year-old. And I'm incapable of understanding things.
I mean, yeah, he perhaps should have come with more concrete examples to present. We didn't know that was going to be the topic of the show that day. So
Yeah, well, I think in his mind,
That's
he's
it,
like,
I-
I know everything there is to know. I'm a pro. I breathe this shit all day, every day. What's there to know? I don't bother to learn more. I don't bother to inquire more. I'm gonna. You know what he does? This man has mastered the art of monetizing socialism, which is the most capitalist thing to do in the world. Look at his merch. Every single fucking shirt is about some virtue signaling about being socialist. Every single fucking one. His entire life. He makes no concessions. He makes no concessions. He just runs defense for himself by saying, capitalism is, socialism is when you live in an economy or whatever. It's like, yeah, I live in an economy. You make no concessions, bro. Bro can't even drink out of the paper straws.
you keep coming back to the paper straws. I don't know if it's really that relevant of a point.
All right, well, here's a good one. Let's see how you treat your housekeeper. That's why it all comes back to that.
Okay.
Let's see how you treat your housekeeper.
That is more pertinent to the discussion than the paper
That's,
straw.
if
that.
I'm wrong about that, let's see the fucking receipts.
Yeah, so we still haven't gotten to that, but
We'll get there.
you keep saying that, but I feel like I really want to talk about that.
I'm enjoying
part.
myself.
See, I want to get every time I hear the paper straw in Sweden, plastic straws are banned. I just want to glaze my country.
There you go, man.
Well, they were on their way to being banned here until Trump just undid it with an executive order.
I remember in LA, everyone was using paper straws, and then all of a sudden, everyone bailed on it.
They needed work. They needed work.
Well, people,
I feel like having a straw at all is bougie. That's bourgeoisie excess is using a straw. Just sip.
Dude,
Just sip, man.
when I come back to Sweden now, I'm like, I try to buy plastic utensils and stuff. I couldn't find it. there's these weird like eco plastic, fake plastic now made of wood fiber. That's like pretty legit. It's almost like plastic, but it's wood.
They've gotten better. Yeah, they've gotten better at the pseudo.
We don't even do plastic
stuff.
lids.
And people laugh like a plastic straw, like who gives a fuck? How's that?
Yeah.
But actually, it is important because these little plastics are actually the ones that are like creating all these microplastics in our water system and stuff.
Yeah.
So the straws, all the little plastic.
So suck it
like
up
that.
and use the paper one.
Sure. Yeah. I agree. He can make that. He can make that concession.
What about you?
First of all,
You're the one talking about microplastics.
It is a good thing to do, but I'm also not. I'm not saying I'm a socialist. I'm not complaining about us, pillaging the third world.
Environmentalism. This has nothing to do with socialism.
Sipping a plastic straw with
Hold
a
on.
pinky, with your
You're
pinky
absolutely
and your
right
thumb.
on this as well.
Plenty of capitalists, care
Did
about
you
the
know
environment.
Hassan drinks out of a golden straw?
I don't know
which is
that.
actually
I don't know that.
Oh wow.
I don't think you know that either.
Which would actually be fine because that would not.
I mean, if it's a reusable
Yeah, it's
golden
reusable.
straw, that's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I want a golden straw.
Should we get golden straws?
Kind of. That sounds.
I
sick.
think we literally have like golden. Maybe they're bronze.
They're
or
probably like
whatever.
bronze or plated.
Yeah, we need
golden
gold.
straw.
Heavy.
Yeah, and I love when you bring up Sweden because I agree. Sweden is a very model society in terms of how social democracy can be expressed. And this
Never
is the
say
point I
you
made
love
to
when I bring up
Hassan is that,
Michigan.
in Sweden, I doubt anybody there really gives a fuck about socialism because everybody's well taken care of for it.
There's these cliques, obviously, but growing up in my circles, I've never even.
It's like,
heard
who
of it.
cares? What do we
Yeah.
need socialism for? We're all doing fine.
Yeah, and I'm sure Swedish people are going to come out. Like, actually, there are socialist people in Sweden, but
I'm sure they are, right? They're everywhere.
In my very personal life, I've never had a friend that's like super.
Ela's in the.
Of course they exist. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah,
Ela's in our WhatsApp saying we only have reusable straws, no plastic straws at home.
Ela's right. We use metal straws at home. There you go. Once again, the capitalist.
He might use iron straws. You don't know.
What's going on here?
I just
Here's what I'm saying. AB, find this man drinking out of a plastic straw. You'll find me doing it too, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I'm being silly. We don't need to do that. But my point is that I'm not virtue signaling about what a fucking,
You're saying practice what you preach, which is fair. That's
like
fair.
the only
That's a fair
difference
point to
between
make.
me and Hassan is that he lives under this mirage of being this greater humanity because he believes in socialism and he's such a good guy for it. That is the only fucking difference, is that he says this without actually considering the reality of it. And so he gets the accolades, he gets the congratulations. He's such a good guy, Hassan.
Okay, I'll give you a counterpoint. Two things. One, I remember when he was launching his merch, and I'm making an assumption here that this is still the case, but he was using like local producers and stuff, right? Which I'm sure made it way less profitable for himself to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's a big week.
That is an example of him, actually kind of following through on his principles.
I asked Hassan once how he did his manufacturing because as someone who obviously owns a clothing business, manufacturing in America is way fucking expensive. You wouldn't be able to make a shirt here and sell it for without charging like $60, $70. So when I asked him,
that much more expensive?
dude, yeah, it's like easily, yeah.
I mean, I believe you obviously know more about how much clothes cost.
It is
That's
very
just shocking.
expensive to hire American workers, especially in Los Angeles,
Uh-huh.
So I asked him, like, how does it work? Your margin must be like nothing. And he showed me his margin is similar to our own, which to this day is very suspicious to me. And look into the people that make his merch. They are not fucking some socialist utopian shit. They make merch for all kinds of other YouTubers. They have an office in China.
Huh.
What's the name of this guy?
I mean, I don't know anything.
What's the name of the guy?
about it, so.
Warren.
Buffett?
Hold on. Hassan merch guy. Warren something. I know Galia knows.
Maybe if you're vague on it, you
No,
should
I'm right.
hold off
I'm right. I
on,
just need to find the website.
Right, but maybe just come back with the info.
By the way, go over to his
Once you're
fucking
prepared.
merch site, and every single fucking one is some cringy virtue signal. He sells these shirts for $35. That's how much we sell our shirts for. There's no fucking way, bro. He would be losing money. As far as I know, as a business owner who does this, here, it's USA bombs, guys. This state, y'all, hurry up and holding a gun. Like, what a fake bitch. What are you gonna do with that gun? Are you gonna do the revolution? You don't even leave your house, bro. I mean, can we please laugh at this? This is ridiculous. This man is sitting there selling a socialistic shirt, holding a Glock like he's gonna do something. This man is a fucking coward. He does nothing. This is hilariously goofy. Go on.
Sitting there with the gun is a little cringe.
It's
I want to see the shirt design though. I kind of like what I'm seeing.
Okay, well, it's $35. But my point is like, can you make one? You want to see the sizes and the colors?
The flats. Where are the flats?
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's see here.
I'm shooting ropes, bro.
I'm shooting bombs.
It's not the worst. It kind of reminds me of like an old school punk shirt.
Look, the designs. I think the design is good. But my point is, can't you make one about like Hassan heads, Fooper Trooper, or whatever? Why is it all got to be this cringe fucking signal, virtue signal? I'm telling you, everyone. Here's one about Uncle Sam. Capital race, some bullshit. Let's see. Oh, whatever. You know, it's the same shit. Uncle Sam with money, talking about capital. Let's see what this one is. You know, don't be fooled. The rich won't let you vote away their wealth, says the guy who's selling a fucking T-shirt.
That one I don't vibe with as much. I thought the green one was a pretty decent design.
Why are they all socialistic? And here he is with a gun, accessorizing with a gun. Like, you're fake, bro. You are not a revolutionary. You are a coward. You literally hoard wealth and do nothing to advance the cause.
Yo,
Can we be real, please? How can you actually look at this and not see how pathetically shallow this movement is? Please, can we be to peace so bad?
I think you should go back to the other gun picture if you want to make fun of him. It's fine.
This one's more silly, you're right.
He has a sin print.
He looks like a
This one is
GTA
like
character.
fabulously. The revolution is fabulous. Should it be a shirt?
Maybe it was the election drop. I don't know.
I'm just doing myself.
This, like, are we actually taking this dude seriously? This is a LARPing. This is what LARPing looks like. Please, bro. Holy shit. This man is thinking of going to Gaza, by the way.
You would much rather spend your time going after someone who is actually considering genuinely going to Gaza.
The chat is kind of cracking me up right now. Oh boy.
I can't see.
Nice
Spicy
light
episode today.
Nice and light, nice and fun.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There's some cute pictures of Kaya there.
We love Kaya.
I found a photo came up with my memories of me and Kaya playing in the office. I was like, I should post this on Twitter and be like, children of divorce. But or like when you hang out with your divorce,
Right, yeah,
or,
yeah.
you know, something like that. But it wasn't worth it.
I just know this whole discussion is gonna get clipped, and I'm gonna be sitting here with the same fucking facial hair as Ethan. Everybody's gonna
That
be like,
is the
"What the
worst
fuck is
part.
wrong with these guys?"
That is the worst part.
Yeah, we're not beating the cult allegation anytime soon.
It's bad, man.
With
It's
the
bad.
fucking with a voice or
That looks
drop
like
with
it.
all of us saying the same shit.
Or at least
I-
close enough.
I hate when
tough.
like in the moment I know we're gonna get clipped, and I'm wearing some stupid shit. Like I think the first time, or one of the first times we were talking about the whole situation overseas, I was dressed up as a fucking Peaky Blinder,
Oh no.
and like the clip was going around. I had a
Oh,
fucking
no.
head on.
That's the Ethan curse. Every time
That's
something
true.
happened, he's like
Like
in the
all him as
weirdest costume.
Fester when was it Fester? Yeah, it was Fester. When,
Yeah, it's been a couple.
The
And
first,
that
blow-up happened.
double wave mohawk, that was a classic too. I don't know
Well,
what.
he was rocking that look for a minute, right?
Yeah, what was the big drama with that?
Ben Shapiro, I think.
Yeah, it might be the. We've been through a couple now, guys. These excuses for not remembering.
Link them.
Oh God.
He's looking good for this one though, I gotta say.
With the Esteban look?
No,
Yeah, except for
the
now he's got
current
me
drama.
sitting here mogging him.
Yeah, you're mogging him. Bro.
He's lost the weight. Like at least.
Right.
I see sometimes people like not agreeing with Ethan, but they'll say like at least he lost weight. He looks really good.
Oh, all of the tater tots and stuff.
Yeah, they're like, hey, wait, this guy's kind of spitting.
I
dude.
mean,
holy.
that's all they really respect.
Quite frankly, I respect Ethan way more nowadays.
You think so?
Yeah, with the new haircut.
You didn't.
New
Excuse me.
Oh, specifically that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people miss Jolly Ethan.
I mean, yeah, it's a phenomenon. People like content creators losing weight and then, you know.
In my opinion, it's hard to respect Ethan because he doesn't play Marvel Rivals. You know.
I know.
That's been a recent issue for me too. I agree. Now.
It's bad, dude.
Yeah, it's real bad.
You don't play Rivals with us, dude. Yeah, cringe.
I'm about to hit Celestial, Nate. Where you at?
Celestial?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
That's what it's called, right? The one after
Celestial.
Grandmaster. Celestial. Yeah.
I'm busy taking care of my pregnant wife.
Oh, boo-hoo. I hear that. I hear that at least once a day from you.
I'm shooting ropes, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's your own doing, brother.
All right, where were we? I wanted to say this. Hassan is the human embodiment of the Che Guevara shirt sold at Hot Topic. He is that. Personified.
Were you thinking about that in the bathroom?
Yeah. You cooked on that one.
Anyhow.
Do I have anything else?
I'm having fun here, guys. I'm having too much fun here, guys.
Having too much fun here, folks. Oh,
and even the name of it is like cringe, like ideology. It's like, shut up, dude. Sick of those in power? Shut up, dude. You are a phony baloney. You know? Look at this one. Capitalism is voluntary.
Wait, let me see that Sonic Youth one.
Which one is that?
On the left.
This one or this one?
On the left.
They're both to the left, Dan.
The left one.
Get bread or get dead. America's favorite hobby. Can you actually just make a shirt about your dog or something? Like this is pathetic.
It's a play on a famous album cover.
They're all about virtue signaling.
I get your point. They're all it's all virtue signaling. Wait, that one's his dog. That one's his dog. Is that one like an apolitical one?
There's a dog one?
Yeah, go back. Right there in the middle. Down. Right there.
There you go.
Well, let's see what it says.
It's like a Kaya shirt.
It's like a Godzilla
Let's see what it
shirt.
says.
Oh,
yeah.
This is good. See, there
Civilization crumbles, Titan of Terror. All right.
It's kaiju themed.
It's a little. I mean, it's still like setting the Capitol on fire.
But come on. I mean, it's like is Independence Day with Will Smith?
But he
movie?
still went there. He still went there. He did still go there.
It's supply and demand, bro. That's what the people want.
That's what the people want. They gotta, like you said, they gotta rep their ideology.
Capitalism is voluntary. You dumb. Oh my God. That's what Kanye says. Well, no, he said slavery is voluntary, but it's completely different, which is horrible. Which is a horrible, disgusting thing. I hate Kanye West. I'm gonna burn some Yeezys. It's something I'm working on.
Hey, here, come.
I think you got to get more creative than burning.
I'm looking to sell mine.
No, I want to get creative. Yeah.
I'm looking to sell mine. So if you need to buy some to burn,
you have to destroy them, bro.
Dude, you have to give them away.
It sucks because like for years when I was in college, there were so many Yeezys I wanted, and finally, when I had this job, I bought them all, like the ones from the previous years, and I don't even think I've worn them once before he started doing Nazi shit.
So they've
just been in my closet since I got them.
They're mint.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has a bunch of Yeezys. He said he'll send them to me, so I'm not buying them. I'm not supporting. But yeah, we'll do some fun thing.
I have a Keemstar cup at home. It's kind of the same thing. Got it when I was young.
Keemstar cup's fucking dope. That's kind of like vintage and weird and wild.
Yeah, it's back in Sweden, but maybe it's okay to use.
I think so. I like
whoever has his old flavor of his whatchamacallit, that's like
cotton candy
now. Yeah.
Oh, I have that at home.
All right, let's push forward. We're having too much fun here, guys. Let's push forward.
All right, let's do it.
Sources, media file, ad
This is the important part.
We're in the middle of the bumper.
Like I said, which is why, like I said, you make do with you try to do your very best.
Can I be? This seems like a big problem to say you don't have a solution for if you're advocating for a socialist society.
I agree, which is why I always
seem like it's ready.
If we're talking pure,
shouldn't you spend some more time thinking about it? He's like, yeah, no, there's this thing that makes no sense at the heart of socialism. I agree. It's like,
it's
okay,
stupid.
Think about it then.
For theory,
Well, I think a lot of
would
people
rap-
have thought about it and have thought about it a lot harder than Hassan. He's not necessarily doing a good job.
It seems like a pretty
articulating
phony baloney if he can't explain something fundamental like that to me.
that. Or, yeah, I mean,
His whole identity is like he's a socialist. Look at his merch, for Christ's sake.
wait, hold on. Is this
Watch out.
It's too dark. She's too dark.
What is happening
Probably.
with the doggy?
Probably our phone number.
Yeah, probably does show that.
Should we bought it?
Well, it was so. I don't think anything was really viewable there.
If you can tuck it under her collar if you want to get the olive cab. And I'll continue.
rather have an
I subscribed during the frenemies era
Wow,
and have
so
returned
much.
for the content
Always
critical of the
play
song. Please
even when
continue to
not
keep your foot on this
visible.
bitch's neck.
Jesus.
Okay.
Metaphorically.
It's a little
obviously.
more violent imagery
Let's
than I
say pause
necessarily
and then unpause.
would say myself, but I
Slide
appreciate
mode's
the
gonna be automatic.
I appreciate the donation. Thank you for
I
your
guess I
support.
could do this over here.
perfect structure
Anywho,
that still absolutely
not
offers
perfect,
better.
it doesn't work.
Paid.
If
We're
you
gonna
don't know
the
how people get
capitalist-
paid, how does it even work?
The capitalist structure also is
I'll have to
imperfect
figure
in the
this
exact
out.
same
Well,
way.
functioning at least.
Okay, at this point, he's completely stumped
Randomized
and looks
pay.
clueless. Let's see what the chat looks like. Oh, I can't. This is
can't.
a clip. Never mind. That would have been so good, you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
obviously,
I
a
know,
big
but-
percentage of the audience was socialist, and it came from Hassan's community, so it's not surprising that they were on his side.
But like to the point where it's like he makes no sense. He sounds dumb, and they're saying, "Ethan, you're an idiot. You're a capitalist loser. Sit down and
Well,
listen."
you know, they're
It's like, are you listening?
But the idea that like the other structure
Olive and Olivia, what a match.
what a
would not
match.
function is not correct. Especially
I
when we're
can't
telling you
see
that even under a
shit.
capitalist organization economy, there's plenty of different ways of doing
But
this.
there needs to
one
be-
of the most successful ones that I also have is a cooperative, right?
Again.
I have a cooperative, collectively
he's
organized
completely not
podcast.
answering. He's dodging. He's gish
No,
galloping.
hold on. I think you gotta.
I can't-
To be
you can
fair,
do
you
it.
gotta play this next part because this is him giving the example of how he runs his podcast, which is exactly what you were talking about earlier.
And I'm gonna dunk on this right now.
Sure, yeah.
It already exists. It exists right now in this world, in this economy.
Right. You're just saying you don't like the idea of
Do it
essentially
yourself,
being
man.
enforced, right?
You already did it. And also, you're
example, where we just split it 5 ways regardless. Obviously, my output in that situation, given that I am the host with
shit.
the largest audience, would
do
significantly
white for
outweigh
everything.
my producers, for example, who could be paid with a
Oh, I didn't-
very fair, very fat market wage, right? Market wage plus
I didn't save
market
any of
wage times
those
3 is what I
'cause I
could pay
thought they'd
him,
just be
and it would still be
good.
significantly less than what he gets paid now.
Yeah.
Because we're
But they
cutting him
don't
in
look good.
5 ways. We're splitting everything 5 ways.
Yeah.
And that is a perfectly viable way to do it because
it's already a viable way to do it. You're doing it right now, man. Run your office however the fuck you want, bro. Why you got to tell everyone else what to do? It's like, again, I hate that I sound like a libertarian, but it's like I'm dealing with straight up China simping authoritarians. You know, everyone sounds like a libertarian compared to that.
I think that's very generous, but I don't think you should be forced to do that.
I think that
I think you should be forced to pay him what we've determined as a minimum wage, where he can live in where he lives in a comfortable state.
For
Yeah,
nothing.
And I don't think.
So, by the way, does anyone disturbed by how he's like, yeah, we're all part of the same show, and obviously I'm the biggest creator, so technically I should be making the most, but because I'm such a good guy, I'm actually splitting it 5 ways. Dude, all of his
disturbed by that. I mean,
it's cringy as fuck, considering especially all of his co-hosts are other big creators. Like, why would you take?
Was he the biggest one out of them?
Yeah, dude, by far.
Well, if that's
he has the biggest output.
if it is what it is, then. I mean, if he's right about that,
Why even point that out? It's cringy as fuck.
I think it's pertinent to the point that he's making. That
Which is what?
If he's bringing the biggest audience to, he's pointing out that by being the biggest creator on the show, he is bringing the most eyes to the podcast, but he still shares it equal way. I think that's fair for him to point out. I get
his
what you're
partners
saying.
are not well.
There's no way to say that without sounding egotistical, but if it's facts are facts.
Listen, he's already doing it. Do whatever you want, bro. Nobody's telling you.
Well, I mean, that's a separate thing. Right?
Pay a minimum wage where people can live in dignity, and that's
salvage.
it.
That's the word.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Or split it 5 ways like
And
you do.
it's like,
That's fine too.
like saying I'm a libertarian is like, I won't tell
think
gay
we're
people
gonna
who
just
they can and
keep it
cannot love and marry.
very
Yeah,
simple.
I don't want the government involved in that either. Am I a libertarian for that? No.
The fuck no.
You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, well,
I don't want the government telling women and what they can and can't do with their body. Am I a libertarian for that? No.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
government power.
libertarian in our country is like pretty tainted with some other stuff. But
Pedophilia and
mostly that, yeah. Mostly that, and also not actually only being libertarian until you support Trump for some reason doing an authoritarian takeover.
Well, libertarians are just like weird, even
That's what I'm
crazier
saying.
Republicans.
It means a certain thing in the American political context, but in the wider context, being about liberty and
Listen, I'm a liberal. I'm a proud liberal. People like Hassan use that as a slur. I'm a fucking liberal. I believe in liberal values. And I'm trying to... Anyway, whatever. Let's get to the point. So...
Happy fun, la la la, human smuggling, fentanyl deaths, forced government euthanasia,
Okay, well, hold the phone. That's not part of my liberal
sound
platform.
very liberal, to be
chopping up
honest.
children's genitals,
Hold the phone, Alex. That is not part of my
Stop, Alex.
platform.
What a loving liberal.
Don't you need to administer aid to some like car accident or something? Busy
You know.
yourself, Alex.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've pretty much cleared.
Bro, you have different
clearly
people
seen
in different
his opinion
units.
on what his how his housekeeper should be compensated and included in his business. Like, there's no.
Right, you've laid that all out.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
can we talk about your
Yes,
second Instagram story?
Yeah. So I guess let's do that because you're dying for
I'm
it.
dying to talk to you about this.
Well, where is it?
This story's. I think they're both together.
Just
in
say-
an album.
What number?
Yeah, they should be.
One in this section.
Oh no, I don't think it is because I was looking through there and it.
It is.
So there, there's this one. Oh, I guess yeah.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
So then.
Yeah, this is the one.
So after I tweeted this, with my claim, everyone's like, "Oh, he's lying. He can't tell the difference between Hassan's mom and a Hispanic cleaning lady. He's so racist."
Right.
So this is what I said. On top of being totally vulnerable to defamation lawsuit, I also said this. I'll even take it a step further. I bet me, Ethan Klein, the capitalist, pays his housekeeper more than Hassan. She has health insurance, vision, dental, 401k, paid vacation, 6 days, and a very good salary. I will donate $100,000 to charity. If Hassan can simply prove to me that he pays his housekeeper more than me. And according to his life, his ethos on business, that should be, he should be easily clearing that. She should be easily clearing that.
Right. Probably. And that's $100,000 is a lot of money.
I will happily donate that. I want to help out.
For something that you don't actually know for sure.
Well, then, yeah, you're right. It's crazy. He should just prove me wrong. You're right. I mean, you know, like.
That was my, when I saw this, I was like, Jesus, dude.
Well, I'm making a point.
I mean, it will be a little embarrassing if you're wrong.
Sure, it'll be embarrassing. And wouldn't that be great for him? He can embarrass.
I mean, obviously, you're very confident and you're willing to stand on it. You're putting a lot of money on the line. I was a little shocked by this. I was like, you better be right, dude.
You're absolutely right, Dan. Not only would I be
Freeze, what I'm going
embarrassed,
with.
I would apologize. I will donate the money.
Can't change that one, though.
And I'll look like an idiot, which is something that I'm willing to accept if I'm wrong. If he is actually including his housekeeper in a socialistic way, as he described, then I will gladly live to
Well, what's the bar? Does he actually? Does she need to get profit share, or?
Well, according to him,
he just needs to pay her better than you.
Well, I guess yeah. It just says better.
Okay.
Including all the benefits. Although, frankly, it should be that she's including her in like the socialistic way that he says it is.
Too late.
Too late.
I mean, either way, I'm confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one was good.
I reacted the same way as Dan. Like,
there you go. Then I
This
guess
one
like
was not.
maybe 30% chance that he might be paying her more than you.
Then it's a great statement. Then I'm making a good point. If you guys look and say, oh God, I can't believe he's risking that, then great. Then I'm making my point heard.
Fair.
Can I say it is a funny thing to go band for band for, you know? just salary.
I think the housekeeper getting the short end here. It should be that you raise it.
I'll give the money to
whatever.
his housekeeper. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
How about
That's
even
kinda
if,
nice.
since the 100K is already set aside, how about even if you're right?
It's not set aside.
I mean, you have to technically set it aside.
It's not set aside.
There's a chance you lose it.
You put it on the line. It should go into some sort of escrow.
well,
you know who we should
I'll have to get a
contact
loan.
is Rent from Book It with Rent.
Yeah.
He's the bookie that was playing at the poker game the other day. Let's have him do the escrow. Handle all this.
Man alive.
He'll triple your money, dude.
Hi, ducks. All right. So anyway, yeah, I mean that's a pretty bold.
Somebody pointed out it's 2 fancy chefs.
That's a lot of
Fancy
money.
chef was 50 grand. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, now someone pointed out 100,000 is now 1 Hassan.
Ooh.
We have a new measurement.
It would be 1 Hassan housekeeper or something like that.
I mean, sure, if you want to split hairs.
I mean,
Well, we gotta be.
You can title it however you like.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess we'll see.
So like, if you're Hassan and I'm lying,
I'm doing it.
first of all, easy dub, right?
Saving
But
my
yet
day.
he's been
Which
so eager to talk
one?
about things. Right now, he
Didn't
hasn't
love-
mentioned this. He's ignored it. In fact, he hasn't even mentioned me as far as I know the past couple of days, which is kind of a fresh take for him. And again, all of his friends who go to his house regularly to shoot the podcast, to go visit him, do the stream, whatever, they can all just say, I have never seen this woman before. I mean, if they're, I assume that at least one of them wouldn't be comfortable lying about it. I don't think I think they're all good people of good moral fiber. I don't think any of them will lie. But I could be wrong. Maybe one of them will lie. I don't know. So it doesn't matter what they say. But still, their silence speaks volumes.
You're arguing with yourself.
Their silence. I'll say this for now. Their silence speaks volume.
Well, it's been a day.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm one of his friends, I don't want to lie for Hassan because, first of all, I'm not a liar. I don't believe in lying. And second of all, because if this ever gets proven, right, I didn't lie. To put it back.
Well, you didn't lie, but I think he's just holding. Oh.
Why you put it up again?
Well, the fact that you said that you're not a liar when there is an existing lie counter.
Oh,
kind
why
of.
does it lie?
Just because there's a lie counter doesn't mean I'm a liar. It just means that Nate's a
little nitpicker.
He's a insolent employee.
I'm shooting ropes, bro. I'm just doing
we
my
told
job.
you a million times to stop, Nate.
That's not even me.
Stop shooting ropes all over the office, bro.
My desk
It's not
is
sanitary.
sticky, Nate. Like, come on.
That's from you, bro.
Nah, that's what you're right, brother.
So yeah, that's my point. You know what I mean? Like the dude is such a fucking phony, hypocrite loser.
We have a generous donation from your wife.
Okay.
I sent it.
She gave. Why are you giving money to YouTube? She says, "Oh, Gallia sent you the receipts I was looking for."
I sent it in the Discord earlier when you.
Yeah, this says Son is clearly only doing the socialism split on his side podcast though, which is with other influencers anyway. So that's a way easier decision. And what about the main business though of streaming? That's my point. Yeah, exactly.
Just not to fact check you, Hila, but their producer gets a cut too. As far as I know, is not like a public figure.
So my point with the cleaner is this. Again, not to diminish the work. It's all important. But as far as like this is someone who can come in without experience, without prior skills and stuff, and come in and do like a menial. What does menial mean? Is that like insulting? I'm not trying not to insult the work because I think it's fine. But
right.
The point is they are low on the totem pole, right? They would make less, and they would have less authority than pretty much anyone else in the business, just by the nature of their work.
The definition of menial is work that is boring, according to dictionary.com.
Really?
Well, that's like kind of like the short and quick one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bank that.
There's a few definitions. Work.
AB, why
little
did you
skill or
define
education.
medial?
Situated in the middle.
AB, why did you define medial?
I figured we needed a laugh.
Situated in the middle. What's situated in the middle?
Me.
Well, you asked for
I'm
the
middle
definition,
child.
dude.
Not of medial. Stuck. Hey, thank you, love. Love screenshot it.
Sorry, AB.
No, it's good. It was good. I appreciate it, though.
I mean, I appreciate the haste, but medial. Okay, so this actually I didn't know this word, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
Medial.
I thought it was-
Situated in the middle. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Medial.
That's what I do, baby. I lighten the mood.
I didn't know that word either. I'm a second. English is my second language, and it's just helping out. I appreciate it.
Head researcher. Oh no, I didn't do that. All right. So anyway, that's my shit. I'm standing on it.
I
You
hope
know,
this
easy
looks
to
better.
fucking dispute. You know, just do it then. Mike from PA. This guy is such a lunatic.
Just being racist, like literally. Like he doesn't.
Oh, they
Here he is
updated
addressing
already. Good.
The story, and
That
then
looks
also
way better.
calling the lawyer that represents my housekeeper, my ex-housekeeper, to apparently give them dirt that he has.
His legal advice, huh?
Which is ironic
Just being
considering
racist.
he actually lied about being a lawyer to get elected and was removed by a judge and disgraced. I think it was in Pennsylvania.
I believe that's accurate.
Yeah, I read the filings the other. I was just reading through it. It's very embarrassing. He's really just an embarrassing human being.
Racist, like literally. Like he doesn't know what Turkish people look like, so he's just calling Hassan's mom a Hispanic lady. Also,
dude, can
I don't
we
even
please just reflect on the
see-
cope? I mean, you're not serious.
Again,
I
if
see
that
the
was what
chat
happened, that is
box. I
very
don't
funny.
see- oh, right here.
So I
Why
get
did that
why
not
they're
type?
like that's
being
like the
serious.
one. No, I know that
They're
being
actually
serious.
running defense for him.
And I agree that I suspect that you know the difference between Turkish and Hassan's mom and
Well, I mean,
Mexican
he introduced
lady.
me. I asked him we had a conversation about her. So
Kick's
unless
still
Hassan
not
talks about his
working?
own mom as a Latino housekeeper.
Latina.
Latina.
so
Or
the
Latinx.
idea of like he's just making bullshit accusations to distract from the fact he's being
Yeah.
sued for being a terrible employer.
Once again, when I'm criticized, I take it head on. I address this immediately and on the show. And I'll continue to talk about it as updates come.
What a fucking scumbag. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm sure they know this, but I'm gonna call up the attorneys of that lawsuit.
This is actually
and let them know just to make sure they're like. I'm assuming they're aware, but
what is it
honestly,
he's going to tell them?
It might not be.
Okay, just so you guys know, Ethan doesn't know the difference between Turkish people and a Hispanic lady.
No, I think he explains what I think it had to do with
Ethan's
something you said about the housekeeper on the show the other day.
All right, let's see.
Like, you know, his show would be kind of useful for them. That I'm gonna do that real quick.
Oh, there's like a clip online of me being doing like a silly voice that was a long time ago. I wasn't talking about anyone or anything. I literally say in the clip that it's fictitious, and Ethel goes, "She doesn't have an accent." I was like, literally stated in the clip that I was joking and it wasn't real.
What would that have to do with the current situation?
I think that's what he's talking about. But let's just play it and listen, Dan.
Yeah, maybe.
Chat. I gave a call over to her. I gave a call. I talked to them, and they're going to be looking into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were right on that.
I'm sure they were captivated.
Actually, reach out to the attorneys and be like, "Hey, the guy you're suing is like defaming your client and talking about the case."
Yeah, I know you're.
I think
I know you're a self-proclaimed lawyer. I know you're a lawyer, but you can actually talk about the case. It's not in violation of anything, especially when you're telling the truth, Mike, which you have a problem doing, especially on official filings.
Well,
you
I
outright
think
lie.
it looks
and you were removed
better.
by a judge with
I don't like the Twitch one,
extreme
though.
prejudice. Very embarrassing stuff.
Maybe it looks better when it's kind of just chilling.
So you should probably take a look at that. So
Yes.
I gave them a heads up.
Yeah, and like he said, everybody, see, it's like he's encouraging everyone to call, which I think is funny.
Please harass my enemies.
Please harass my enemy's attorney with
Opposing
I
counsel.
have this insider information about Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, join the cause. Call her lawyers today and give them exclusive information about me.
We had another dono from
I guess it
your
doesn't
wife,
look
Hila Kwan,
terrible.
Honestly,
another $10.
It just
She's
looks really
working it
bad
over
when
to
it's
YouTube.
small.
Stop
but
it.
I
full
should
screen
do
looks
like an
alright.
H3 snark day.
That was my idea. He's saying that because I said I want to do a Mike from PA day. Well, we can have dueling snark days. How about that?
Snark off.
Dude.
Hila said, does Hassan pay his mods? Just asking for a friend. Her name is Frogan, and she's struggling with rent.
You know, Hassan has a mod who was recently on stream begging for rent money. Begging for rent money.
Add it to my
and she
other
does a lot of work
things.
for Hassan. She moderates his show. She's in his Discord.
Like,
you know,
go.
she's kind of at his beck and
Fix
call.
that. Alerts are good.
And why is she
Do I have
begging for
alerts?
rent money?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Why?
Why?
Why? In the words of Joe Biden.
I do not know if Hassan pays his mods.
Image
Well,
slideshow.
clearly, if he does, it's not enough to pay rent.
I do know.
I don't think he does. No, he stated publicly he doesn't pay them. I think. I'm pretty sure. With a in Minecraft.
That is, yeah. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
okay.
you can fact check that. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, what I know is that we pay our mods.
I pay them pretty good. I think.
Yeah.
They're probably one of the best paid mods in the game.
Maybe, yeah.
I love my mods. I love them.
And they're the best mod because they're the best mods in the game. You know?
They deserve it. Yeah, of course. That's what I have to say about that.
Somebody in the chat says Dan glazing Hassan crazy. Come on, I'm not
No, he
glazing him.
I'm a defender.
I'm gonna
not glazing.
I'm gonna push back where I feel like pushing back.
Look,
I mean,
it's good
that's-
for the
you know what I mean?
conversation
Yeah.
because then I get an opportunity to flesh out my views.
There you go. Yeah.
Because Hassan, like other people are going to say the same thing. It's good to address it on the show. It's way better for the conversation. Dan is not glazing Hassan. Stop it.
And said, save it for the show.
Save it for the show.
So that's it, I guess. Is that
I'm
it?
seeing that it is well known that he does not pay his mods. I mean, you should pay your mods, bro. Come on.
Especially if they're on stream begging for
Like-
rent. She's begging for rent. Do you think he
I
even
mean,
reached out to be like, yo, do you need help?
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what their relationship is like, but I do know that I think it's right to pay your mods.
Someone pointed out something really funny to me. This whole conflict
I
with
think
her
that
started
looks
when
good.
she complained that I unfollowed her on Twitter. Hassan does not follow her on any of his social medias. Kind of interesting. Hassan, do you why not follow Frogan on? I mean, that's the least you could do for her. Just Seems like he's dodging. I feel like there was something else really funny, but
Another tale from Reddit.
Please. We got to, actually. We're 2.5 hours into the show. We only have an
This is
hour
my
left.
new favorite hobby.
This is going to be a big...
Chinese state propaganda enjoyer with a picture of me said, Ethan Klein, go back to Israel, bitch, and become a red triangle along with your wife, which is a little antithetical to the whole anti-Zionist thing, if you're trying to get me there. But the purpose of getting me back there is to get me killed by Hamas. That's what the red triangle means. This, this is the kind of comment that it's really incredible to me, especially when if you click their profile,
All
they
right,
actually
I gotta
are
put
public.
my alerts
They're on
above
Twitch
my
and
socials.
TikTok. Here he is on
'cause I
TikTok.
don't
Let's take a look
want-
at this person wishing death on me.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry blue-haired feminist.
If
Oh, there.
feminism is a scam, then maybe you should consider quit TikTok. Move to a conservative Muslim or Christian country where women will not gain the right to work or the right to vote or the right to even drive a car, and consider making a sandwich for me, woman.
Now, I assume he's defending feminism, but it really didn't feel like that. It really didn't feel like that.
I think, it's satirical, I think is what he was going for. there.
I'm sorry, guys, make a quick correction. He does follow, Hassan follows Frogan on Twitter.
Oh, but not on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fair enough. Instagram's where he really follows people he cares about. He still follows me on Instagram.
Well, then maybe that's not
Maybe
true
the
at all,
opposite,
actually.
actually.
Yeah.
I still follow him. I don't think I unfollowed him. I'm traumatized.
Leaving that door open.
No, that's not why.
Oh.
That door is padlocked.
KKK.
Look at this fucking idiot. This guy wants me to die.
I think that was everything I wanted to do.
One cup of that heavy whipping cream, y'all.
The British Empire came to our lands, stole our food, stole our culture, claimed that chicken tikka masala and nandos are British food, and had the gall to claim that Cajun food is spicy. Come on, man. He's just baiting y'all.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
One cup of that heavy whip.
All right. Wow. True.
It's insightful.
Oh shit. He talked about my boy. I love this guy.
Think about this.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Okay, 300 dudes. Everybody nets $1 million a year, which is super.
Yo, bro, become a millionaire, bro. It's so easy, bro. Just make $1 million, bro. Just find 300 people, bro. Just do NFTs, bro.
Think about this.
You know, it could use work. It could use work on the comedy side. He's trying though. He's trying.
Why is he obsessed with me? Why am I in your like? He's his white woman enjoyer, grad student of European and I don't know what the fuck
This is
that
a crazy fucking
grad
bio.
student of European and North American history.
Pictures
Streamer on
are
Twitch.
so
He follows Hassan. And all that.
fine.
Yeah, he's in the Haas tweet. So this is a Hassan fan.
Interesting. Well, maybe work on the act a little bit.
Why
I like the angle, but the execution wasn't really good. And maybe pull back on making the death threats on a public social media account too. Would be my advice.
Mm-hmm.
Just also,
Ultimately,
why are
it'll
you
lead to more
obsessed
white
with-
women? I think. If you
You think so?
adheres
And that's
to those
giving
rules, yeah.
giving Casey, Comrade Casey.
Right.
He's just obsessed with Arab women or Muslim women.
Right.
A bodacious Habibi or whatever you said.
Yep, that is what he said.
Please stop using my photo. It's very creepy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. And I
Dude,
think that's
Olive is
it.
coming after just my side of the carpet for some reason.
Oh God!
But she's so sweet though. No,
Yeah.
not peeing. She's
No,
just
she's a
inviting.
chewer. She chews
Yeah,
carpet,
she's
yeah.
chewing. She's so sweet though. She's so much more playful with me than the other two
She
are.
is so sweet. She's
Yeah.
so cute. I don't know if it's just the Labrador thing because she's like a black lab. And I think the terriers are just such divas.
Yeah.
I still haven't found a sound for her.
Oh my God, I
Shaken,
love her
not stirred.
so much, bro.
She
She's
is
so cute.
She is so sweet and she's so sweet.
Also, I'm not crazy. Leslie, she sees our dog in her. Here we go.
Nate always says that he sees his dog when he looks in her
Can we
eye.
get a picture of Nate's dog? It's like a
Yeah,
little
let me
chihuahua.
send it. It's literally my dog.
They
bro.
have they're twin flames, Olive and Milk.
Dude, Milk
thought-
is like 10 of her.
Yeah.
exactly
Milk?
the same, bro.
It's Milk.
Yeah, it's Milk.
Yeah,
Is
her
that
name's
like the
Milk.
is that like the movie about the dude with cancer? Is that about a movie about?
Are you
a
thinking
dude?
of Harvey Milk?
Yeah. What is it?
I
Harvey Milk?
He's
I'm
a
done.
pro
He's
gay,
civil rights
gay activist.
I
icon.
did everything
I think
I
of white women.
wanted except
When I hear Milk.
one
This was
thing.
funny
Tie it
too.
all together.
Thanks for that.
Snark and YouTube drama,
think
and now
I had
faux.
got
How do you say that?
close
Faux moi.
I don't know.
Faux moi
99.
is absolutely
I
overrun
brand.
by these